Britain's Prince Harry and his American bride Meghan Markle departed Windsor Castle in a silver blue Jaguar E-Type sports car. A reception for 200 guests followed a ceremony that blended ancient English rituals with African-American culture. Meghan wore a long white dress designed by Stella McCartney. China has for the first time landed several bombers on an island in the disputed South China Sea. It is a move that could provoke renewed tensions between countries bordering the strategically vital maritime region. Chinese Air Force in a statement has said that several bombers of various types, including the long-range nuclear strike-capable H-6K, carried out landing and takeoff drills at an unidentified island airfield after carrying out simulated strikes training on targets at sea. China's foreign ministry spokesperson has said that Beijing and Washington need to address trade frictions through consultations. The remarks come on the same day the Chinese Ministry of Commerce announced to cease the anti-dumping and anti-subsidy investigation on imports of sorghum from the United States. One of the lawyers in the Texas shooting case has said that the suspect appeared to be disoriented on the morning after the rampage. The teenager, identified by law enforcement as Dimitrios Pagoursis, has been charged with capital murder and is being held without bail in Santa Fe in Texas. Pagoursis remained silent and made a statement to authorities admitting to the shooting. Hygiene border inspectors were screening passengers at Democratic Republic of Congo's Mbandaka airport, where 3 cases of Ebola were confirmed on Friday. The government said that the safety measures that involve testing travelers' body temperature were put in place on May 10th. The city of 1.5 million people is near the Congo River. Most of the 45 confirmed probable or suspected Ebola cases have occurred since April 4th in this city. A group of Cubans gathered to mourn their relatives who were killed when a Boeing 737 crashed soon after taking off from Havana airport. More than 100 people were killed in what appeared to be Cuba's worst air disaster in nearly 30 years. There were only 3 survivors. Blackened wreckage of flight CU-972 was strewn over the crash site 20 kilometers south of Havana. The Boeing 737-201 aircraft was built in 1979 and leased by Cuban airline Cubana from a small Mexican company called Damoch. The Civil Aviation Administration of China has said that it will provide full support for companies which will run international routes in a new Beijing airport. The Beijing Daxing International Airport is expected to operate by October 2019. The government is expected to roll out more incentive policies to support airlines which boast high resource utilization efficiency and operation quality and prioritize consumer interests and contribute to hub development. Chinese President Xi Jinping has said that the country will fight a good battle against pollution and push ecological civilization to a new level. The comment was made during a tone-setting meeting on environmental protection. Xi said that China will push for coordination between economic and social development and ecological civilization. Chinese Premier Li Qiang also made a speech during the meeting. Li is a member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee. Malaysia's scandal hit former leader Najib Razak spoke against the police raid at his home. Investigators seeking evidence of corruption were filmed seizing box loads of jewelry, luxury handbags and cash. Following a surprise victory in an election on May 9th, the new government, led by Mahathir Mohamad, has opened investigations into how billions of dollars disappeared from Malaysia Development Berhad, which is a state fund founded by Najib. Najib, who has consistently denied any wrongdoing, and his wife Rosma Mansur have been barred from leaving the country. As many as 8 people were killed and dozens more wounded by multiple explosions at a sports stadium in the eastern city of Jalalabad. The blasts occurred at a football stadium in the city that was hosting a cricket match at the start of the holy month of Ramzan. Local officials say that the blasts were caused by 2 rockets. No terror organization has claimed responsibility for the attack. Singaporean Prime Minister met his Malaysian counterpart Mahathir Mohamad on an unofficial work visit. On agenda was a high-speed rail project valued at about $17 billion and undertaken by Singapore and previous Malaysian administration led by Najib Razak, which is pending as both sides have yet to decide who will tender the multi-billion-dollar project. Lee, the son of Mahathir's old rival late Lee Kuan Yew, has said that he hoped to cooperate with the new Malaysian administration for mutual benefit between the close neighbours. Nicaraguans have called for justice for slain protesters as a national dialogue to resolve deep divisions in the impoverished Central American country worsens. At least 49 people have been killed amidst demonstrations over social security reforms. Earlier in the week, angry citizens taunted President with shouts of murderer. Although the President has said all deaths should be investigated, many blame Ortega's supporters for the killing. The United States Geological Survey has released a video showing lava shooting into the night sky from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. The event was captured starting around 12:30 a.m. local time at Fissure 17 in the volcano's lower east rift zone. Now, since the volcano began erupting on May 3rd, many residents of Hawaii's Big Island have been evacuated. The lava flows are not new in the region, but it is unprecedented for fissures to emerge within communities like Leilani Estates and Lenipuna Gardens, which have been hard hit. Russian ambassador to the United Kingdom has reiterated that Moscow has nothing to do with the alleged poisoning of former Russian spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter. Alexander Yakovenko was speaking at a press briefing in London following Sergei Skripal's release from hospital, more than 10 weeks after the incident took place in Salisbury. Yakovenko welcomed Skripal's release but claimed that the UK would be breaking international law if it did not allow access to him and his daughter Yulia, who was discharged last month. Cambridge Analytica, the political consultancy at the center of Facebook's privacy scandal, has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the United States. Now, this after allegations surfaced that Cambridge Analytica, which was hired by President Donald Trump's 2016 US election campaign, improperly used data of 87 million Facebook users beginning in 2014. The petition to file bankruptcy was submitted at the US Bankruptcy Court in New York and was signed on behalf of Cambridge Analytica's board by Rebecca and Jennifer Merker, daughters of billionaire Robert Merker. The Merker family was one of Trump's biggest donors. Hundreds of thousands of Turks poured into the streets in Istanbul for a massive rally denouncing the killings of more than 60 Palestinians by Israeli forces during demonstrations against the opening of the US embassy in Jerusalem early this week. Turkish President Erdogan joined the rally at Yenikapi Square, where the rally was held with protesters waving Turkish and Palestinian flags. About 2,800 have also been wounded over the past few days in the confrontations between Israeli forces and Palestinian protesters. Italian actress Asia Argento, who has accused media mogul Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault, told the closing ceremony of the Cannes Film Festival there were abusers in the audience who had yet to be ousted. Argento, one of the women quoted in Ronan Farrow's New Yorker article in October, said that Weinstein raped her during the Cannes Film Festival in 1997 when she was just 21. Weinstein had denied such allegations of non-consensual sex. Reports quoting U.S. State Department officials say that President Donald Trump is withdrawing assistance from northwest Syria as Washington reviews hundreds of millions of dollars in stabilization aid to Syria. The withdrawal of assistance comes as the U.S.-led military coalition battles the remaining elements of ISIS in the middle of Euphrates River Valley along the Syrian border of Iraq. Evacuations were upheld in northern Colombia after construction problems at a hydroelectric dam prompted fears of massive flooding. Colombia ordered the evacuation of nearly 5,000 people living along the Cauca River. Heavy rains have increased water levels in the river, which feeds the country's largest ever hydroelectric project. Problems with filling mechanisms and tunnels at the dam have authorities on high alert. According to reports, Saudi authorities have arrested 7 women's rights advocates weeks before the kingdom is due to lift its ban on women driving. The reasons for the arrests were not clear, but activists say that authorities are attempting to silence the women. The kingdom's state news channel reported that they had been arrested for contacts with a foreign power. Starbucks is announcing a new policy that allows anyone to sit in its cafes or use its restrooms even if they don't buy anything. The new policy comes 5 weeks after 2 black men who hadn't bought anything were arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks. The company said that anyone can use its cafes or restrooms without buying anything, but it noted workers should still call the police if someone is a safety threat. President Donald Trump's wife, Melania Trump, has returned to the White House after undergoing a surgical procedure this week to treat a benign kidney condition. America's First Lady had been recovering at Walter Reed Medical Center since Monday when she underwent an immobilization procedure to treat the kidney condition. Now, this condition is a minimally invasive procedure often used to block the flow of blood to a tumor or an abnormal area of tissue. Chris Froome won the 14th stage of the Giro d'Italia on Monte Zoncolan as his compatriot Simon Yates extended his overall lead in the Alps, with the peloton swiftly breaking up as riders tackled the grueling final climb on the 186-kilometer stage from San Vito al Tagliamento. Team Sky's Froome surged clear to win by 6 seconds. Yates was second, 31 seconds ahead of the defending champion and nearest challenger, Tom Dumoulin, in the battle for the Marca Rosa.